Welcome to the HR Management Interview Presentation. My name is Benjamin Darling, and I will be the presenter through this project. Okay, so this right here is going to be the roadmap for the presentation today. So we're going to start with the introduction of the interviewee. We're going to answer questions 1 through 8, but we're also skipping 1 and 5 as they relate very closely to number 8. We're going to answer some key questions that relate more to this presentation, as well as some key takeaways I got from the interview. Okay, so the interviewee that I chose to interview is Jake Mulvihill. Now, Jake Mulvihill is the superintendent of Legacy Christian Academy, my alma mater. He has 5+ years of experience in hiring and firing various faculty and teachers, and I thought he would be an excellent option to interview for this HR presentation. So the second question I chose to ask Mr. Mulvihill was about the personality and character of the staff that he chooses to hire. And he gave me 2 answers. He said, number 1, they look for staff that are degree educated in their field. They obviously do not want teachers who are teaching science not to be educated in the science world. In the same way, he said personality and character is very important. They want somebody who's has high character, someone with a lot of integrity, a lot of trust, and somebody with the ability to inspire the students to perform and succeed academically and in life. So question number 3 that I asked Mr. Mulvihill was, what are the decisions and the factors that go into hiring a teacher? And he said, again, 2 things. He said, number 1, as a Christian school, Legacy teachers have to have a foundation of faith. They need to be a Christ-based person who puts Jesus in the front of their lives. And secondly, as I explained in the previous slide, they need to be inspirational. They need to be able to inspire these students to succeed academically and provide them with confidence and motivation to get things done. There are 2 ways that Legacy Christian Academy teachers are trained into their new job. Number 1 is through an orientation program. Mr. Mulvihill has set up a week-long orientation program to get them implemented into the culture and ideas of Legacy. As well as, more importantly, he sets them up with a mentorship with other veteran teachers who have been there for longer, who can help kind of show the way of, this is how I run a classroom, this is how I help inspire students, and this is often the most successful part of the training for new teachers. So question number 6 that I asked Mr. Mulvihill is, how do employees and teachers feel valued and respected at their jobs? And he said, through clarity, honesty, and trust. And most importantly, trust. If employees feel like they're trusted and they can be open and honest with each other and with the students and with the superintendent, that provides a level of value and they feel respected as a teacher. So number 7 is evaluation. How do we evaluate teachers at LCA? Well, so the LCA has a base profile of ideal teachers, so kind of a system and kind of a written summary to say this is what makes a good teacher. So essentially the evaluation is between classroom sit-ins, meetings, student evaluations to figure out, does this teacher kind of match up closely with this base profile? That's a great way to evaluate if they're being successful. So most importantly is this question number 8, okay, and I really stressed this one when I was talking with Mr. Mulvihill, especially when it comes to LCA as a Christian school, is how do you build a culture of excellence in a school or in any business in general? And he said, number 1, it's about casting a vision of Christ-centered learning. Now, the Christ-centered learning part is specific to Legacy as a Christian organization, but the casting of vision is extremely important. As an HR person or a manager or really any employee, it's your job to kind of latch on to that vision and stick with it, right? You don't want a company that goes through a bunch of different types of visions, but you also don't want a company that doesn't have a vision at all. So casting a really strong vision and sticking to it is one of the most important things in creating a solid culture. And then secondly, it's about building strong relationships. If you build strong relationships between coworkers and students and various employees, that will make it easier for them to latch onto your vision if they feel like they have that friendship and that relationship with you. So some key takeaways that I got through this interview with Mr. Mulvihill is, number 1, trying to find the balance between work and relationships. Mr. Mulvihill stressed relationships in terms of a Christian school, and I think a lot of businesses stress more on the work side, getting results. And I think being a good HR candidate and being a good manager in general is about balancing the two, building the strong relationships, but also at the same time having the work results happen. And then number two, it's about casting a vision. Right? It's about sending out a mission and a vision for people to latch onto and people to really accelerate to want to achieve that vision, can help them be more productive employees. And you do that through being honest, through being trustworthy, and through clarity so everybody understands exactly what the mission is, exactly what the vision is, and what they need to do to achieve that vision. So that marks the end of my HR interview presentation. Thank you for listening. I hope you learned something from it or had any key takeaways of your own from the presentation. Once again, thanks for listening. My name is Benjamin Darling, and this is my HR interview presentation.